I bought this EJ9 Honda Civic originally to be a cool daily driver. I then impulse bought a set of BC Racing coilovers to sort the arch gap out, plus these paired with Rain Sport 5 tyres really improved the handling. I went through a few questionable modifications, such as these eBay billet engine mounts which immediately felt like an attempt to brutally remove all of my fill-ins, and these gorgeous wheels that really didn't fit. I then took it on my first ever trip to the Nürburgring and it performed great. Better than I expected actually, both on the road and on track. There were a few casualties though, as I noticed a groaning noise coming from the gearbox that turned out to be the input shaft bearing. So once again I got carried away and ordered a full carbon synchro kit along with uprated M factory diff bearings and a new input and output shaft bearings. I then fulfilled the dream of buying a Spoon N1 exhaust, well, a fake one, that actually sounded very good. And to eliminate some of the drone on longer drives, I fitted a removable baffle, which was game-changing. I then had a weird thought, would a baffle affect the power output at all? So I spoke to Lawrence at Wide Open Throttle and he was happy to help me answer this question. Now, on my S2000s, the baffles did actually affect the power, but not so much on the Civic. Then, I had an even more interesting thought. How much power does air conditioning actually use? So, again, thanks to Lawrence, we put it back on the dyno for some science. The point I'm getting at here is that this Civic and I have been through a lot. It's taken Georgia and I to the Nürburgring multiple times and completed many laps. I've dailied it, taken it to shows, all sorts. So why am I getting rid of it? Well, A, because for once I'm trying to be sensible and thin out my fleet of project cars, and B, the opportunity came up for me to own one of my dream cars. So unfortunately, it just made sense for the Civic to go to someone who will continue to enjoy it. My plan was to put some money into it to get it to a good standard, to make it easier to sell. Then just after I took the first step and had the windscreen replaced, things changed. This is Ben, one of my best mates. You may recognise his crazy E36 build, which sounds incredible by the way. He now owns a garage with one of our other best mates, John. You probably know his Mustang. Ben really wants a Civic, but can't really justify spending the money at the moment, so John had the genius idea of buying it for the business and surprising Ben. Yep, he has no idea he's getting the Civic.
So, this is it. A drive I didn't think I'd be taking anytime soon, I'm not gonna lie. This is the last drive, well, in my ownership anyway, the last drive of the EJ9. We are literally on our way to J&B Autos now. I was gonna say, I wish I'd known, because, you know, when you're on your last drive, you want it to be an interesting one. But, like I said, we are gonna surprise. Ben has absolutely no idea of this. So, Georgia and I, well, Georgia mainly, she had the great idea of, so John's already got private plates for this car. Every sort of business car they've got has got a JNB number plate on it. That's very cool. I'm expecting to see one of them today. And I love, you see all of them, see loads of them in blue. So nice to see them in a dark grey. The exhaust is on this now, I'm really not a fan of. I didn't mind it before, but yeah, this sounds very unwanted Civic at the moment. But yeah, every business car they've got, I hate it when people just cut across lanes, has got a private JNB number plate, and this one will be no exception. Excuse the rattling in the boot, the gearbox is in the boot. We have got a private plate for this, so what Georgia and I are going to do is tuck around the corner of J&B Autos, pop it on, go and see Ben, just pull up with it because I've told him I need a hand with this car for something, and we're going to wait how long it takes for him, because he really wants this Civic. He wants it as a business car because they want to do some mad stuff with it. So we're going to put the number plate on, pull up outside, see how long it takes him to realise, and just say, welcome to your new car. It is very much a project, and I'm pretty sure he's aware of how much of a project it's going to be. But I am so happy that it's going to someone, A, that I know. So I know this probably isn't going to be the last drive, because Ben's a very nice guy, and John. So I know they're going to let me drive it, especially because Ben wants the turbo. I'm hoping when we get there now, we'll ask him, see if that's still the plan. But he was adamant on turbo in it, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So we've just pulled up now. Look at that. I don't know if you'll be able to see the size of the rear tyres there. But anyway, like I said, what we're going to do now, got some, look at that, previous owner, because he did the engine swap and everything. He documented absolutely everything, which is pretty cool. So we've got tape, we got snips. So there it is, plates on. I'm going to see if I can speak to the owner now. So I've just asked the owner's permission now. I just wanted to show, I love when we bump into things like this. Look how wide. He said the wheels are 14 by 15 and the dish is incredible. I say we love the patina look, but then you've got like the modern dials in there. That's wow. I said to the owner I wouldn't care if that was 100 brake horsepower, small block Chevy in there. The burble and the look is enough for me. What a legend. I didn't get his name. What a legend that guy with the pickup is. He's been following the page for a while, which is amazing. It just absolutely blows my mind. So hopefully we'll be seeing more of that. Okay. Oh, look, Mondo. Right, let's see how long it takes him to realise.
The plate's on you.
I need you to help my car. Well,
My car.
your car. Your problem now.
Oh, surprise!
Welcome to your problem.
Yeah, this is your problem now. Right, so although it seems like I'm doing you a nice thing, you knew it was. Oh yeah, this one. When it's really hot, the spoiler bows a little bit. Only when it's hot, so we haven't got to worry too much. Welcome to your new problem.
It's a project within a project.
Now, yeah, so I'm hoping you know how to put all the Dewberry Firkins there into there. But trust me, it's worth it. It will transform the car.
Well, you know, it's nuts and bolts, right? So.
It's exactly, that's the best bit. And we're at the right place. So this is like you've known about this car for ages, haven't you? But this is literally your first drive of your car now.
I know. And we talked about wanting it, but with the way things have gone, it's just not happened. And
yeah, because I don't know how much detail I would have gone into in the voiceover, but Ben's wanted this for a while. Because let's face it, everyone at some point in their life wants to turbo a Civic, and that's what you want to do, isn't it?
that's exactly what I want to do.
So, yeah, because of the way everything's gone, I was just going to sell it. Ben wasn't in the position because he's kind of full with cars right now.
Yes.
But you've got an excuse now. Anything you spend, it's for the business. It's for the business.
Exactly.
You need a massive turbo. It's for the business. You've got to.
Yeah.
And just send John the bill. Bring it in VTEC. I want to get you. This is the first time you would have hit it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wondered why it went so loud. That's what a Civic should sound like. So luckily oh my god. I said to Ben, I noticed the exhaust was blowing from the manifold because it's basically one of the clamps has failed. I managed to get it back on. And I think it's come off. All that and we hit 33 miles an hour. All right. I never knew you were a Civic owner. That's hard. That was it. He drives it more like a Civic than I did.
Jess, can you open the gates? We've blown the exhaust.
Right, well I can tell by your face. What's your first impressions then? Apart from the fact that you've just got a lemon.
It's absolutely wicked. It's my first JDM Nugget and I absolutely love it.
This is what it's all about, is the smile. I mean, like I said, we must have hit about 40 mile an hour, but the feeling when you did it, oh, I am gonna miss this car.
Mate, I mean, like, it's got colour in its it's just a great colour.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
It's everything about it. I mean, you know, it's got a red Honda badge.
It wants to be a Type R.
It might as well be a Type R.
Yeah.
It's got the NK style wheels on it.
Yes.
Absolute mint there.
And it's, like I said, the interior does it for me. Is all cool. The floppy shifter. You know.
Yeah, the floppy shifter is on gear.
Never seen that.
That's in gear. I mean, is it neutral or is it in gear?
Who knows?
Who
But again,
knows?
you didn't miss a gear once. I don't think I've ever missed a gear in it. Look at Happy Jess. It's a good job you got access to a ramp, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wilbur approved. What do you think, dog? What? So let's see. That's all. Yep. That's all pretty attached. It's also a bit warm. Oh, look, that's all attached. Oh, there's your problem right there. Yeah, ignore. I put that on. That's my fault. But yeah, that's Ben. That's the clamp that you might want to replace.
Yeah.
With the first drive out the way, there's always interesting stuff here. So I just wanted to show, we've got a Darren's 350Z up on the ramp. I really like the wheel choice she's gone for there. Oh, carbon wings. Ice cream? I'll have an ice cream. See? That's the type of service you get when you come here. They give you ice creams and slushies. So it's in for typical Jap stuff. I'll give you 3 guesses. Yes, you probably got on the first one. Look at that. So it's got the dreaded tin worm, but it's in the right place. As I said, J&B Autos do, as well as mechanical work and modification, which they're very good at. They do metal work as well. And then you get the dog following you around. I haven't got anything. But yeah, really cool car up there. Civic sitting pretty up. Just stop looking at me. This is the one I wanted to look at. This is a customer car. Seriously. Corrado VR6 nonetheless. Wow, the colour is beautiful. I've always loved these. Every time I'm at shows I always say, oh, they're very cool. The reason I like them is because this was in a generation where it wasn't necessarily, they didn't go hardcore, it was more of a tourer, so you had the very cool looks, the coupe design with the hatchback making it practical. But look how comfy the seats are, and this is what, like I said, I'm getting old now, I like a bit of comfort. So what a cruiser that must be. This is on my to-do list, I would love one of these. Very cool. I didn't even recognise what that was there. I think it's a Peugeot. They've literally just put a new engine in there. The dreaded wet belts. Lovely, yep, doing their thing. So that needs a new engine. This is why I say avoid wet belts. This, I couldn't even tell you what it is. I'll have to ask Ben. A Rolls Royce of some sort. Look at the size of the grille. They were known for their grills. And now I completely understand why. That's almost as tall as me. And you can probably see, compared to the Mark II there, just how much longer it is. Mark II, Mark 1. That's mad, I looked at the preview, I thought it was the Mark II. Mark 1 Golf GTI there. I really, really want to have a go with this once it's done. Jesus, don't chill. Yeah, save the best for last. Look at this. A Volkswagen Fox. This is Gethin's girlfriend's car. That she bought, apparently, because of our little Fox, which I find really cute. And one thing I'm jealous of, this is the interior I wanted for ours. Factory interior, how quirky is that? Granted, it's a lot cleaner than ours. And another cool one we've got as a customer car, actually a subscriber of ours, Dave, so I really appreciate you coming to say hello when we met you at Shed Fest, and I really appreciate you using J&B in fairness. I love this car. What I love, and I've only just noticed in person, like a Ferrari F40, stick with me on this, I know it sounds weird, but as the body line goes down there, as from the swage line there, so it goes whoop, which makes the back end really fat. And that is one of my favourite angles of this car. That is awesome. Two key factors with these, twin turbo and it's a manual. It smells like my old, I've had MX3s and stuff like that, proper 90s Jap cars. It smells like that. Wow. And the joke of the back seats there. But this, whoa. All the buttons on the steering wheel, what a weird place to have them. That's a weird steering wheel, and the fact the buttons are at the bottom there. All the switch gear, wow, what a quirky car. I've always been a fan of these, and
Ben literally just said to me, tell me you didn't have one of these on Gran Turismo. I think everyone did. But this is one of those cars you've got to see in person because the proportions, it is huge. And like I said, my new favourite angle after seeing it in person is that one. We all ended up going for a bite to eat to discuss the amount of problems Ben was going to have to fix on the Civic. Luckily, he's very optimistic. But with everything I've gone through with this car, it felt really weird to finally say goodbye.